Now from the home of the Dog Pound, EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Cleveland. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Over the middle, complete to Judy. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. In motion, the tight end. A first carry for the all-pro running back. It's Josh Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls, because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also
yeah.
Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB, and guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7, though, on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Passing play, Flacco. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Flacco. Now they go screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
Hopkins' kick is good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So that, a good kick. We haven't talked about it much, but the wind is prevalent, and he drove that right into the wind.
Yeah, and don't forget the wind can swirl down there, too. So being able to read it, how it's coming, left to right to left, and to be able to execute that kick, that's pretty darn strong right there.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen. But he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 2. On play action. Love to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Once again, it's Jacobs. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Love now. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by McManus is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Cleveland offense making their way out. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And his defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now 2nd and 9. Flacco looks to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Flacco. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Right back to Njoku. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And his throw is incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Hands it off out of the gun. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
These two teams all tied after 1. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Browns first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Devin Bush sprinting behind the line to track down the ball carrier.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. And Watson has it right side. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Love. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Love looking to throw it. Short throw. He's got Kraft.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second down and 3. Again, it's Love. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Reed. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and 8. Jacobs going to try the middle. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Packers have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 10-3. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Browns set to take over. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to work. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Flacco off play action. Blitz coming and down he goes. Xavier McKinney. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
To pass, Flacco. Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Flacco from midfield. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now a 2nd and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 35. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here now, 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Now Flacco. That is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Going back to Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Flacco. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Play action. Flacco. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Operating off play action, Flacco. Gets this over the middle to Tillman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Flacco will take to the air again. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tillman motions to the left. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive. And this is potentially a nervy situation this close to their own goal line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And some strong running. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. That good for 19 and a first down. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd and 6. Throwing. Love. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Love now. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down and 4. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion, the tight end. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
And Watson has it right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Jacobs will take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call on a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
McManus now for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. But Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now it's Flacco. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Here's a handoff out of the gun, and he'll get about 2 there to the 36. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And this will be taken at the 13. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On the return, Carter. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And they'll send Judy in motion left. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 11. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 85 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a 1st down. They had things a little spread out there with 4 wide receivers, and it opened up a running hole.
Yeah, not only do you get better running lanes because you are spread out, oftentimes when defenses see 4 wide receivers, they substitute in extra defensive backs, so you're blocking smaller personnel. That gives your running back a nice chance downfield against that type of a defense.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Love. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Reed. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Love, they go play action now. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he is going to have a Packers first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And it'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake, Love. Now this aired out deep for Reed. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And the Browns getting set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. A break from the ground game here. Flacco over the middle, complete to Judy. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Flacco looks to throw. He'll get this complete to Tillman. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Passing play, Flacco. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. To pass, Flacco. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Touchdown, Browns. Cedric Tillman, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Love from the gun. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Glove. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt, and now a chance to tie the game on this possession. Here's Flacco. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Right back to him on 1st down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Here's Flacco. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And that is incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Counter play with Jacobs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. On now is the Packers punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Here comes Carter. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Flacco set to lead this offense. Down 24-17. Just over a minute 40 to play. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Flacco. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now Flacco. Connecting with Johnson. And he'll be out right at the 35.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Plenty of time to work with here, but the timeouts, they're gone. Here's 1st and 10. Pressure mounting. Flacco. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Flacco. That's caught left side by Judy. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
This is 1st and 10. Setting to throw, Flacco. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Here's 1st down. Flacco to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And that is taken in by Njoku. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Here now, 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Love. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Love to Dobbs, and he hauls it in. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Remember, the one timeout still available as they come up 1st and 10. Now Love. And that's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Love looking to throw it. Got Dobbs over the middle. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The dog pound barking as loud as they can here. 3rd down. Here's Love. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it. Four quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So advantage Packers here. They'll possess the ball first with a chance to win it here in overtime. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw now. Here's Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Decision to be made on 4th and just a few inches in overtime. What do you do?
I know you've got to weigh it out as a head coach, because if you don't get it, you've turned it over in a great spot for the opposition to go down and win the game. But 4th and inches, I think what most teams do is they say, if we can't get inches, we don't deserve to win anyway.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
The tackle made by Kingsley Enagbari. This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Flacco. Pass caught. He's got Tillman. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts, maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Browns send out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. The Packers offense set to go. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is thrown at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And that is incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. Cleveland offense making their way out. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll get this to about the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll run the end around here with Judy. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Love now. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say, get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. And the defense is going to let him think about it a little as they use their 2nd timeout here. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And there'll be some happy cheeseheads tonight as the Packers have won the game. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon.